faith and just put your hands together as I call Namdige. Do you have slide? Yes. Okay, you have slide. Okay, did you give them? Yes, I've given. All right.
The lights are bright. So I'm a bit of an unconventional person. I hope you don't mind. Sometimes I like to just feel like I'm having a conversation. We're gisting. Is that okay? Pastor Uche, I have a question. Why doesn't Make in Nigeria have its own products? So we're talking about donations here, right? Why doesn't, sir, please, 1 minute. Please come. Is this a classic man? Does he look like, what if this jacket he's wearing is Make in Nigeria? Sharing ideas, sir. So that we have products that we sell all through the year that we can use to fund Make in Nigeria. Just a thought.
Yeah, thank you. Makes sense. Thank you.
So I've been asked to talk. Exactly. Now, he doesn't need to come up with the idea. He already has the brand. You can come up with a product, take it to Make in Nigeria. They attach their crest on it, and it becomes a bestseller. So, I want to speak to you on building a legacy business. I was given one interesting topic, and I found it a bit boring. I found it boring because before you talk about what's new, I think you should be conscious of what currently exists. Are my slides up? Coming up. Before you can talk about what's new, you need to also be sure that the one way they saying they work. Excuse me, I like to speak pidgin sometimes. Why am I even apologizing? Not be Port Harcourt with day. Not be Port Harcourt with day. Who goes you? So I'm speaking to you today on how to build a legacy business. And I heard it from behind. Say this manji the cap. Who can tell me what they think a legacy business is? Anybody? Yes, please.
A business that outlives the founder.
Fair point. Fair point. Who else wants to try? Yes. Go back from the beginning.
Okay, it's a business that subsists even without you being present.
Okay. Beginning, please. No. All right. So I'm speaking to you today on building organizations that last. I wish I had. Can I get 5 people to come up here with 5 sheets of paper? Here, quickly. Just come with a sheet of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quickly. 1, 2. Okay, so I'm a feminist. So you go back. You go back. I want more women than men. Yes. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remaining, we are women now. What a man can do, a woman can do better. People don't want to come out. So I just want you to hold a sheet of paper, only the paper, and maybe your pen. Drop the book, hold the paper. Please give her 1 sheet of paper. The one you're holding is too small. So close your eyes. Raise the paper up and close your eyes. Raise it up. Let's see it. Close your eyes. Simple instruction. Let's check if their eyes are open. Okay, they are closed. Now fold the paper you're holding into 2. Don't open your eyes. Fold it into 2. Tear the right top corner. Fold it again into two. Tear the bottom left corner. Now, it's a good thing all of you are with pens. Make a hole in the center of what you're currently holding. All right, open your eyes. Raise what you have. Open the paper that you have. Open it. Raise what you have up. What's happening? The same instruction was given, right? So why do we have different? The same message was given, the same resources were given, yet everybody has a different interpretation. It means if you listen here without clearly understanding what I am telling you, how you will interpret it will be different. Thanks, guys. Next slide. Is there a pointer here? Next. I once spoke at a conference where a lady came to me after I had finished speaking, and she asked, this is how she put it. She said, my father has been in this business for about 28, 29 years, and he cannot step away from the business. Based on the pressure I saw my father going through, I had to dedicate 8 years of my life for this business. I had to sacrifice my dreams for 8 years to support this business. Is that something you can relate with? I'm talking about how to build a legacy business. Next slide. There also is the story, I don't know if you saw it last year, about a lawyer that was killed by policemen in Lagos last year. Did you see that story? You heard it, right? I heard recently that he was sentenced or something like that, the police officer. But she also owns a real estate company called Crosstone Homes. And that Crosstone Homes, interestingly so, since she passed in December last year, their revenue has doubled. And her husband does not know anything about real estate. But they are making more money than they were when she was alive. Why? What's the difference between the first story I told and this one? Next slide. What do you think is the difference? Sorry? She built a legacy business. She was conscious of what could happen even in her absence. How many second generation businesses do you know that are from Port Harcourt? Can you mention any? Do you know what a second generation business is? I start the business, I hand it over to my son. That's first generation. My son hands it over to his next child. That's second generation. How many second generation businesses from Port Harcourt do you know? How many first generation businesses do you know that are doing well? Mostly schools. So they exist. Are they doing well? Two different things. Some. I know some that are doing well, some businesses. Genesis is it's a first generation business. Genesis. No, the Genesis group. You see? First generation business. His father started it. NATO came and he consolidated it. How many of those businesses were built by luck? None. They were intentional. Next slide. About building something that will outlive them. You remember this car? Pastor Uche, did you drive this? My father, loving man, assumed he was doing me something wonderful by giving me a car. I think I was 16. And this was the car he gave me. In his mind, he was doing something excellent for me. My brother man, my sister woman. You know how the gear for this car is now? It's fight. You stretch. Every day I was in the mechanic. Instead of spending in fact, I would say this, the car began to drive me. I wasn't driving the car. If you see me now, when I was much younger, Olumati is fat now. There is thin, there is slim, there is slender. After slender, so imagine me in this. That business you're building now, are you planning to give your children a problem? Just like this bit to my father gave me. Or are you giving them something that is a stepping stone for them? Are you building a legacy business? Or are you transferring problems? Next slide. Few questions I want you to answer now. Just maybe 3, 4, 5 of them. If something happens to you today, can your business continue to make money for your family? Even if nobody in your family knows the business. So let's say you cook. You run a restaurant or you're in the food business and something happens to you and nobody in your family can cook. Can your business continue to take care of your family in your absence? Yes or no? Right. That's one. Question 2. Please raise your hand if I followed you to your business now. Can you show me clear details of all the money that has come into your business from January till now and what you've done with it? Raise your hand if you can. If your hand is down, you don't have a business. Should I continue? I should sit down. Am I being brutal? Okay, you already know how I talk. Question number 3. Do you have the right employees for the next level of your business? Do you even know who you need for the next level of your business? Number 4, have you considered a will? Writing a will for who will, if something happens, this is how I transfer my business to my family. Do you have something like that? Have you considered it? Do your employees, question 5, do your employees, or you included, do you know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it on a daily basis for your business? You see, conversations around building a legacy business begins with how you think about your business. Have you considered succession? As in, I find it a bit troubling that many of us don't think about what happens in case something happens to you. Next slide. So how then do you build an organization that lasts? How do you build this legacy business? I wish I had pointers. Remember I told you guys I used to be slender. Are you seeing small evidence? That's me in the corner. So this is a client of ours at Excel and Grace Consulting where it's a hospital in Edo State, in Benin. The hospital is owned by a professor, an orthopedic surgeon. And as at the time we were consulting for him, he had run that hospital for 7 years. In that 7-year time, not a single naira or dollar was paid into his account. This is what I have earned from the business for 7 years. Rather, every month he was sending money from the US because he was based there. He was sending money every month to pay salaries. When we worked with him, first month we paid in some money into his account from the business. And he called and he was crying. He was in his late 50s, close to 60. He was crying. That since he had been running this business with his family members, he had not received 1 naira. We came in and in 1 month, we didn't send much, But that imagine you running a business for 7 years and you cannot even give account of anything that has come to you as a reward. So what did we do for him? How did we set up this structure for his business? Next slide, please. To build organizations that last, the first thing you need to do is set up a structure. That's the place I will pay attention to. Set up a structure for that business. Number 2, let it expand and live its full potential. Number 3, prepare it for succession. And number 4, step aside. Structure it, let it expand and live its full potential, prepare it for succession, and then step aside. So let me focus a little bit on structure. Next slide. How do we build this? What is structure? Next, structure is as simple as it's the foundation for building a legacy business. I don't care the kind of business, the kind of house you're building, you still need a foundation, right? If you're building a 1-bedroom flat, or you're building a 10-story skyscraper, they all need foundations. The only difference is the size of the building will determine the kind of foundation you're building. I heard recently about someone who is building in Lagos. He's building a skyscraper, and they've been digging since last year. If you've done any construction, you know what I mean, that they've been digging. Not piling, just digging. Imagine what they are trying to build up there. The size of your vision will determine the kind of structure. So business structure is organizing your business. You can understand what is happening, what I'm saying now, because there is a structure in the use of alphabets that form words and how words become sentences, right? So there's a pattern. It is organized. Business structure is organizing your business, so you know what comes first and what comes next. Next, it is giving your business a life of its own. It is having the right people in the right roles, doing the right work, following the right processes, obeying the right policies to get the right results. I can say it again. You have the right people in the right roles, doing the right work. Because you can have the right people, but they are doing the wrong work. So you have the right people in the right roles, doing the right work, following the right processes, obeying the right policies to get the right results. Now that's my definition of business structure. Next. It is moving. I love this one. It is moving from a one-man business to a company. Who can tell me what a company is? Sorry? Can anybody tell me what a company is? Yes. A group of people having the same goals. Yes. Okay. Who else? What's a company? I thought it's what we do when we register something as CAC. That's a company. Is that not it? You say? It's a legal entity. Yes. Fair point. Next. What's a company? Ego is one of our clients. I wanted to share something, but I will, let me skip this one for now. Next slide. But I used him to make an example, but let me just tell the story instead. When you go to any of the big supermarkets we have in Port Harcourt, and you go to where they sell fruits, and you want to buy an apple, you just go there and you collect the apple, right? That's what happens. Now, try to imagine the number of people and activities that coordinated to make sure that apple was available for you when you needed it. That's a company. A company is a group of people who coordinate their work towards a common goal. Think about the number of people who coordinated their work so that this microphone could be working at Make in Nigeria. There's a common goal. Business structure is moving from a one-man business to a company. So, how do you build this structure? How do you set up a structure for your business? The first thing, I call them the business structure building blocks. It's like we're building a house. So the first one is your vision and your mindset. The best way I can explain it is this. What exactly are you building? What's your vision for this business? I'm not talking about that beautifully crafted vision statement that many of us write when we're looking for contracts, or when we just want to, you're registering a business. What's your vision statement? You write something. That's not what I'm talking about. What exactly are you building? Who is an engineer or an architect? Is there anybody like that in the construction? Nobody. Okay, good. You know I can tell you to build a comfortable house for me. You will build something remarkable and I won't like it. It's possible. But if I give you specifications and say, I want a 4-bedroom duplex, I want the living room this size to this size, I want this in the dining, it's easier for you to deliver exactly what I want, right? Your vision should be that clear. What exactly are you building? Your vision also includes your mindset. Have you encountered people who say, I will not hire people from a particular tribe? Have you encountered that? Now imagine that the most qualified people required to help your business are from that tribe. Do you see how that's at an interview? I've seen it happen before. My team is hiring, and the most qualified people, you check Yoruba, or Igbo, or it happens like that sometimes. And then we've had people who say, no, I will not hire from. You see how your mindset can affect the results you get in your business. So you too must be conscious. Your business will never grow beyond how you think. Does that make sense? Please edit this part I'm about to say out. Edit it out. That's why here in Nigeria, we've not grown beyond a particular level because of the people who are. I didn't say anything. So, the business owner, your vision and your mindset. The next building block, no, go back. The next building block is your team selection. By team selection, I'm saying who exactly is needed. Now you know where you're going. You know exactly what you need. So let's use the house thing. Now you're clear about the kind of house I want. You now ask yourself, okay, so who will I need to help get Mr. Nnamdi's house? True or false? So who do you need to give life to your vision? What will each person do? In what departments will they function? What benefit will come to them? Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Do you own a business of yours? Why should I work for you? Why should I work for you? Why should I leave everything I'm doing and come work for you? Why? Who are you? Why should I work for you? What's the need for me? Do you get the point? If you cannot sit down and define at least 5 benefits beyond salary for anybody who works for you, they won't stay. I hope you know it's not the responsibility. Your employees are not supposed to buy into your vision. And you should be okay with it. Am I speaking for this side? Let me come this side. Your employees are not supposed to buy into your vision, and you should be okay with it. if God wanted them to have that vision, he would give it to them. He didn't give it to them, he gave it to you. That's why you started the business. What people care about is themselves. Do you agree? So as simple as small benefits like health insurance, and somebody is choosing to stay in this company instead of this one. Why should I? What's the benefit for anybody who works with you? Is it making sense? So I said, who is needed? What will each person do? In what departments would they function? How will you get them? How much will you pay them? If you pay them peanuts, if you pay peanuts, you get what? Monkeys. Most places you go, you have business owners saying, I can't find good staff. Are you a good boss? Why should I leave Pastor Uche's company and come and work for your own? Why? I can't work for him. He would ruin me. Number 3, still on the third building block, how will you measure performance? I have been baking from morning till night. It's not the same thing as I baked 7 cakes today. Do you agree? You didn't hire people to be baking from morning till night. That's activity. You hired them to bake 7 cakes. And that when those 7 cakes get to the customer, there's no complaint. You didn't hire somebody to say, I've been cleaning since morning. And then when you come and sit down with your wife, you clean the chair again. And the whole of your back is dirty. The cleaner hasn't done their job. True or false? So how will you measure performance? Not just for the employees, but for the business itself. How do you know the business is growing? Must monitor performance. Remember back then in the university. Okay, let me ask this question. Let's be honest. Raise your hand if you failed any exam in the university or secondary school. Thank God. I'm not the only sinner here. Ibelema, look at, did you fail? These ones were like people that were carrying first up and down. I failed very well. You remember the night and the morning immediately after you've seen the result, the kind of advice you gave yourself by yourself. Your parents were not there. But at least for the next 1 week, you'll be reading, you'll be studying very hard. True or false? That's what happens when you measure performance. Because everything you've done last week should show in the results you get by this morning. By Monday morning. True or false? That's monitoring performance. How will you do that? Number 4, business processes. I grew up in the Anglican church. And in the Anglican church, we have godparents. My godmother is one of those relatives. I don't know if you have them, where if you visit them, you must eat. Do you have anybody like that in your family? Anytime you visit her, once you get in, they will usher you to the living room. You sit down there. Then you start hearing activity in the kitchen. Give it a few minutes. They'll bring water. And water for you to wash your hand. Then they'll bring a warm towel. Later in life, I found out that the reason why that towel is always dry and warm is they keep it behind the freezer. Because I kept wondering, why is this towel always hot? They keep it there. Then after you wash your hand, they will now bring the food to the dining. They'll serve it in the center. Then give you plates. Everybody, you serve yourself. Then they will now call you. Now, this happened whether it was just the maids that were around, whether it was just her, whether it was just her husband or her kid. In fact, sometimes I used to tell myself that if you visit the house and nobody was there, the house itself will serve you like that. Why? Processes. This is how we do accounting. This is how we do recruitment. This is how we do marketing. This is how we do sales. I hope you know there's a difference between marketing and sales. Do you know there's a difference? Can anybody tell me the difference? Yes, sir.
Marketing involves telling people about the products.
Okay.
And like let them know
Yeah.
why sales involves the tricks of having people buy your products. That's what I believe.
Yes, I like the way you explained it, but let me give you one of the most simple definitions of marketing and sales. This one you can write down. Marketing is every and anything you do to get people interested in what you sell. Every and anything you do to get people interested in what you sell. Sales is every and anything you do to get those interested people to buy. Simple. This is how we do recruitment. This is how we do onboarding. This is how we do collect money from customers. All these processes and steps must be written. This is why they will keep calling you every day in the office. This is how we do procurement. Why should they be calling you when diesel or petrol has finished in the gen? Why? Is that the best use of your time? Do you think Dangote signs checks? Have you thought about it? Do you think he signs checks? How many of us here will be comfortable not signing checks in their businesses? That's, you're not the one who signs checks. You will not be the one who is doing transfer in your business. How many of us will be comfortable with that? You're beginning to see where the problem is. You said? Sir? You are seeing where the problem is. Business processes. Next. Number 5. You've jumped 2. Okay, yeah. Go. Go next. Yeah, and let me add this, okay? I needed to say this briefly, and this is a bonus idea. One thing that would dramatically improve the results you get from your business, especially if you're a one-man business or you're a small business, even if you have a big business, is this. Have a routine of 3 to 5 things you do consistently every day for your business. I wake up by 5 every morning. After I've done my devotion, done my exercises and all of that, I do 3 major things. 1, I check my emails. 2, I check the content calendar for all the businesses that I own to make sure that they are where they're supposed to go. And then I do what is called strategic commenting. That is posts that my team has made in different businesses. I go and check if there's anyone I should respond to. I do that before 8 a.m. every morning. There are a couple of other things that I do I don't want to mention, but without fail, I do this every day. What are the things you do consistently for your business without thinking about them? Trust me, it would help you. If you do this consistently for a month, the results you get in your business will change. Next. Number 5, problem solving. The 5th block is problem solving. Remember I said if they want to buy fuel and they have to come to you. If you have problems in your business, if you have staff and when problems come, those staff come to you instead of solving the problem, you don't have staff. You have problem identifiers. Not a single person who has worked for me, who has worked with me, including this antelope that is here. Yes, we don't call ourselves normal names. Olumati, that is my very good friend, doesn't come to me with a problem. I won't answer you. Come with the problem and make recommendations for solutions. Grace, how are you? Your staff were hired not to. How many of us know those places where they sell newspapers and you see all those men who gather there and they are discussing everything the coach should do? Take them now and put them in the football pitch. They can't do anything. Those are not the kind of staff you need. Just like in Nigerian politics, most people would, before they enter office, they will tell you all the problems that when we get there, we'll do this. $1 to $1. Where are we now? Before you come to my office, any of my offices, if you work for me, with a problem, you need to come with at least 2 solutions, recommendations, even if they are useless. So don't come and tell me diesel has finished or petrol has finished. You tell me, so sir, diesel has finished, but we have gone ahead to make arrangements for petrol. We've bought a little. I gave them money for this. Accountant is not around, but we need this now so that when the accountant comes, we'll do I will answer you. So what's your process for problem solving? It's a very key part of building structure. 6, information management. The quality of decisions you make is dependent on the quality of information that you have. True or false? If you were told, let us travel now, and you're supposed to pack, what will you pack? You have 20 minutes to pack. You just put things inside a box, carry it and run, right? But if I told you we were going to Antarctica or Alaska, what will you do? What you will pack will change. Some of us are praying we should go to Canada. Small harmattan, you cannot breathe. Is that how you stay in Canada? The quality of decisions you make is dependent on the quality of information that you have. So you must be able to get the right kind of information, which is things like, who are your best-selling customers? What marketing is working for you? What's the feedback from your customer inquiries? This performance evaluation that you're doing, how are you getting it? I get weekly reports of not more than 5 important variables from all the businesses I own. I don't want the story. Just give me the data, very important data. And from there, I can make decisions. That's number 6. And then number 7, regulation and compliance. This is where things like, if you need regulation, external regulation, we're talking about for the food industry or drug industry, you have NAFDAC. You need to have your NAFDAC. You need to have a doctor, for example, on your board, on your team, on your management for you to own a hospital. Only lawyers can, in quote, own law firms. So if I want to own a law firm or get into the law business, I have to partner with a lawyer. That's regulation and compliance. You need to pay your taxes. Internally, you need to have things like company policies. You need to have things like employee handbooks. You need to have things like corporate governance. All of that is part of regulation and compliance. Put all this together and you have a structured business. That's the beginning part of building a legacy business. Next slide, please. How many of you know this guy? We are the football fans. You guys should know him now. So he's the guy who owns the company or the group that owns Man City. Yeah, this is him. Well, he looks young. I'm correct, right? The ruler of Dubai. So, hello, can you hear me? He's the ruler of Dubai. And he owns multiple football clubs. Not just Man City, he owns multiple football clubs. How is he able to manage multiple businesses? I'll tell you how. Next slide. I'm showing you pictures of my cousins. So the first guy is my second cousin on my mother's girlfriend's auntie's side. This one, my mother's father used to live near their neighbor's uncle. So this was Tedola, and he made a tweet. This was about 3 years or so ago, where he said, "Sunny days in London. I started my 6-week summer vacation." And one of those dragging machines, those Twitter dragging machines, went there and said, "Always on vacation, sir. Do you even go to work?" Now, here's his response. "As an entrepreneur, my role is to ensure that I hire a competent team to run my business affairs without my physical presence, and of course, one that outlives me. Mine is to nurture the team and maximize shareholder value." You know how you call somebody an idiot without saying idiot? But the key words for this for me is, I hire a competent team. The results you get from a 30,000 naira accountant and a 200,000 naira accountant are not the same. The results you get from a 50,000 naira teacher and a 200,000 naira teacher are not the same. Yes, I know the level where you are, but have that at the back of your mind, that the results you will get, ask any successful person, they will still tell you the role having a competent team had on their business. And then the nurturing. That's where you come in. You are not Pharaoh. Your employees are not the Israelites. Next slide. So here's how I manage multiple businesses, and it's what my 2 cousins also do. 1, all my businesses are structured. 2, I have an unsackable team with a team lead. There's always a head that is not me. You know how when you make a mistake, you can't scold yourself. But if there's somebody who is a supervisor, somebody who is leading, it could be a GMO, it could be a P, it could be just somebody else who oversees things. Unsackable team with a team lead. Next, I have a COO and his team. This is me basically saying, because there are different businesses, because you're doing different things at the same time, somebody should be a buffer so that all the arrows are not pointing to you. Because if you try to build a legacy business, it will definitely increase beyond what you can manage alone. Does that make sense? So there needs to be somebody who is championing the operations. My role is to do the nurturing. Make sense? I think that's about it. Next slide. I think I have tried small, right? I usually don't get a lot of ovations when I talk, because when I talk, I speak directly to the soul of man. There is no perspire to inspire. No, I don't do that. I don't speak big English like Olumati. But I tell you how it is. And I give you some sort of blueprint for you to begin to build towards what you want to build, a legacy business. So I think I can take questions now. Have I given some value? So please, yes, sir.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much, sir, for this presentation. It was really, really, value.
Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Kelvin. I run a quick service restaurant, and one of
You run a
quick service restaurant, a cloud
service
restaurant. Yes. One of the issues we are facing is staffing. Okay. You said something about people, structure and having the right people. Recently, one of our kitchen staff resigned abruptly. She said she wanted to go for her marriage introduction, only for me to find out that she's using our idea to start up her own restaurant. And this is the second person that has done this. And, we are trying to set up the business so it can run without us. So we have some things in place where they come, we train them how to do what we do. And then at the end of the day, 2 people now has gone out to use our ideas and processes to set up their own stuff. So how do we handle stuff like that? Thank you.
So how do we handle situations where people resign abruptly? That's the first problem. And then you've trained them and they leave. So I will not give you the answer you're looking for. The first thing I would say is this. When you hire anyone, make sure you give them the correct employment document. That includes an employment letter, a guarantor's form. A guarantor's form is simply, you know how if you're opening an account in the bank and they tell you to bring references. A guarantor's form is simply as simple as, look, I'm going to work for Lumati. Pastor Uche is my guarantor. If you look for me somehow, or I do something I'm not supposed to do, please go and look for Pastor Uche. Employment letter, guarantor's form, employee data form. This is where you get all the details of this staff. Birth records, health records if you can, next of kin, all of these. And then you should also have a clear outline of how you will measure that person's performance. That's on one side. The documentation protects you. And I remember I talked about processes. There should be a process for hiring. There should be a process for firing. There should be a process for resignation. If people know that they can't just wake up and resign from your business without giving notice, some people say you have to give 2 weeks notice. Some people say you have to give a month's notice. If there is none of that in your business, people will just resign abruptly. That's number one. Secondly, if you're going to train someone, I think it's important you be intentional about extracting value from that person also. So if I'm going to train you in anything, I will let you know that this is what it's going to cost me to train you. And you're going to commit to staying with me for a period of time, just like they do in the apprentice model. But it shouldn't be more than 18 months. Let it not be equal to slavery. Now, if you intend to leave before that time, you have to pay me for that training. This doesn't mean people will not leave, because there are some people who have the money to pay you. But if somebody is already planning that they would stay with you for 2 months and run, when they see that clause, they'll say, Ogani, they do. You get where I'm going with this? So I think it's more about the processes you have in your business and not really about the staff. There are good people out there. So let me make this point. Regardless of this, please do not be afraid of training your staff. And I'll tell you why. If you train your staff, you train your staff, you train your staff. If somebody leaves your business and goes to work for him, he gets a better employee. If somebody leaves your business and goes to work for him, he gets a better employee. If all of us are training our employees, it means it benefits all of us. Make sense? Yes. How much time do I have left?
I don't know if I'm permitted to say something concerning what he asked. Am I?
Sure.
Okay, thanks. You know, I am a business person. I think I have experienced what he asked. One of the challenges of staff leaving, mentioned, especially in one branch of my business, it has to do with finance. We don't just employ anybody, because we need to make sure that that person is someone we can trust. Perfect. This is something we tried. And one more thing I think I did help was I have a lawyer friend. Okay, I have a lawyer friend that helps me write out agreement with all my staffs. So before you leave, you give us 1 month notice. And if you leave before time, you need to pay us. You need to get a lawyer friend. It needs to be
so
legal.
it's not so you don't necessarily need a lawyer friend. There are incredible templates that you can put together. It's not even about the template or the lawyer friend. It's for you to be able to sit down with the employee and make sure they understand and that their guarantor understands. Especially if the people you're working with are at a lower level in terms of their education. You spend your time with them, teaching them, okay? That's what I'll suggest. Because many small business owners, I'll take the one person at the back and then you, sir.
Okay, mine is as regards to you having an experience before, and a company reaches out to you to hire you. For example, the individual has been following you online, he has been seeing your content, and in other words, you have value. Okay, and they reach out to you that they want to hire you. You have your own company that you're running. Okay, a service-oriented company. At this point, they want you to come and be a kind of a leader in their own company. And one, you have given them the salary scale of an amount that is very high, very, very high, looking at the value you're bringing into the industry. And the negotiation has been done, and at the end of the day, you have a time frame. For example, I've said, okay, I want to be there for 6 months. After 6 months, I'm out. Now, going to that place, one, you're going to build contacts because it's a higher cadre. Okay, you're going to build contacts and all that. And you are saying under 6 months, you're out of that place. And the man in question is telling you, no, you can't do 6 months with us. If you must come on board, you must come on board above 6 months. Because without 6 months, you want to also go and form something of that caliber. Okay, now this is my question. There is this agreement that we have that is not solid. And now he's telling me that if I leave after the period agreed, and he sees something similar out there is a breach of contracts.
So what's the problem?
Sorry?
So what's the problem?
Now, I'm asking, on this regards, what will one do?
If it's you who is employing in your existing
Yes.
business and somebody comes with this, would you find it funny?
I've already made it clear from the beginning.
No, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
Will you find it funny? That's your service business, the one you currently own.
Yes.
You want to employ someone, a person comes and tells you from the beginning, making it clear to you that he will not stay with you for more than 6 months. Would you find it funny?
The
Yes or
options
no?
are there.
Yes or no?
I will give the person the opportunity.
Yes or no? Would you find it funny? So it's easy for you to talk about things from your perspective, but look at the perspective of the person you're discussing with. I personally, I won't hire you. However, it's your personal decision. It's your personal decision. They also must have given you an NDA to sign and a non-compete, which is if we see any business that is similar to what we are doing, that means it's possible you're coming in there to steal their trade secrets and go and start their own. If it's me, you do it, I will sue the hell out of you. So be careful what you want to do. If you're going in there to actually serve them, go there, serve them well, and leave. Don't just do this for yourself. That's my professional opinion, because if they have more money than you, it could linger for a long time. So, yes, you have a question, so that you'll be the last. Hello, take.
Well, I just wanted to add my voice to, but before then, thank you, sir, for very elucidating and educating session. I wanted to just add my voice to what he raised as a challenge. Now, you see, you can turn and, yes. Oh, okay.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, my question is still based on what this guy said. I think I'm having that challenge where, with the group of people I work with, where I'm a partner to the company, but I have the owner, the real idea behind it, but I came in as a partner. Now, of course, as a partner, my money is involved and my own idea too is involved to see that the company move forward, because I think the goal of every company, most companies, let me put it that way, is to at least make profit, and also expand, grow. But the problem here is I am not being allowed to express myself, my idea, how I want to see the the goal. Yes, we have a common goal, but the owner he will not just take anything. He wants his own to be his own, to just be anything he says is what must go. He doesn't care about yours, but you are a partner. Now I'm finding it difficult to strive in that space, and I want to pull. But then in pulling, I have my own idea. And before I joined this company, I have always had my idea. So joining them, it's just like they had something related to what I've always had. So I wanted to partner and see, okay, how we push it forward since we are working in the same direction. But in the long run, I'm not allowed to express myself. So I want to pull out. In that case, is it a bad thing to do? Pulling out to be able to build my own and express myself how I want to. That's my question, please.
So I think it's a legal issue. You should speak to a lawyer. You wanting to pull out means you're not satisfied. So it depends on the agreement. Did you sign any documentation with this person?
Not really. We are just a group of persons that came together to want to
you can pull out
build.
now.
Yeah.
You can pull out. If there is no documentation binding you guys, you can pull out. But it may affect your friendship with your relationship with them. Yep. But I will advise, have a conversation with them and let them know this is the issues, this is where we want to go. Redefine your vision. If it then doesn't work out, you can have a conversation. But pulling out just like that. So the money is in people, actually. I learned some time ago, don't burn bridges. I currently own 100% of a business that is dead. When I could have owned, me and 3 people could have owned 49% of what Due Day and Konga is today combined. The leg of an elephant would always be better and would never be the same thing as 100% of an ant. The leg of an elephant will never be the same thing as 100% of an ant. Thank you very much.
Please, I expect a standing ovation. Please keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping for the surgeon. Thank you. Keep clapping, keep clapping. Thank you so much. So you can sit. So please, some of the ways to increase the value you've gotten is to follow Nnamdi Ibe on Facebook and on the. Please show that slide. I think there's a slide for that. Okay, just fine. Just search Ibe Nnamdi Ibe, anyone. But look the picture very well before you go and connect one spare part dealer and leave. Or you go meet one native doctor. We go write for a name, traditional surgeon. We're very sure about that. And of course, knowledge is powerful. That's what we're told. How many of you agree with that? But listen, knowledge is only powerful when it's being applied. We move straight and then we wrap up the last section, a very brief panel section, brief to digest our friends who are going to share with you a couple of experiences they've gotten running their business in Africa, working around this country. You know that surviving your business from Nigeria is not for the faint-hearted. How many of you agree with me? So ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes, I'd like to call my brother, my friend, back to the microphone. He has been in the center of everything that has been happening all through this conference and exhibition. Please put your hands together for Nia Barifakai as he comes, bring on stage our panelists. And then for the ushers, please, the guys, help us bring these chairs. I prefer these chairs. Help us, please. Shekina, help us. Put the chairs. Yeah. Guys, you be man. You know, because you get body, your mind tells you you're a woman. Allow him to help you. Yes. Thank you. And then one of that. Push that to this corner. And then that. Thank you. So please let's welcome, I can add Sia, Sa, Nia Barifakai, and bring it close. No. It's a panel section. Thank you.
Hello, guys. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? All right, don't worry, we'll soon be out of here. We're just going to go straight to the panel session. These guys are here, and we'll go at it. It's important that you make notes as business people. Ask questions because they are very hands-on. All right, so without much ado, I would like to welcome our first panelist for today. He is a co-founder and the team lead of Havox Tech Hub. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Stillworth Ezekiel. Clap, clap. Thank you, sir. All right, joining him is an interesting guy. He is really multifaceted, and I've seen him perform wonders. He is also someone you want to listen to as someone doing business in Africa. His name is Akishola Agbegunde. We call him Shola Dance. Put your hands together for him, please. You're welcome. All right, so today we're talking panel session. Today we're talking surviving business in Africa, surviving and doing business in Africa. So we've listened to the keynote session, but we now have to crack down into it. So I'll come to you first, Stewart. Think, make, grow. We are talking innovation, but you have to think, you have to make, you have to grow from here. There are many challenges that we experience as business people, but let's hear from your perspective in your industry how you've been able to navigate and what you think we should do.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So I'll start by saying that business principles and protocols might be the same across others.
Okay.
But if you want to get results from them, it will depend largely on how you execute, understanding your environment.
Okay.
I think one of the things do or have done is I questioned everything. Okay, so I wanted to know why Port Harcourt was called a low-budget place for tech companies.
Okay.
I wanted to know why we didn't have a whole lot of startups being built and then growing here.
Yeah.
I wanted to know why during the COVID-19 era, a whole lot of tech companies shut down while tech companies in climes were actually coming up.
Yeah.
So I questioned everything. And then number two is the fact that I paid attention to understand who my target audience is.
Yeah.
So I made away with the idea when they say in Nigeria you have 200 million people. So I told myself that not everybody will buy from me, even if I'm selling long life and prosperity, right? So I decided to be very clear as to who's going to buy from me. And then number three is the fact that I paid attention to the concept of strategy.
Okay.
So I decided not to copy strategies that I don't understand its history.
Okay.
Okay, so so you can read books written by Americans, but I needed to ask myself if those things they're sharing will work in my own environment,
Yeah.
Africa.
Yeah.
So I can pick that strategy and then I say, okay, how am I going to make it work here? So I'll give you an example. 2021, for example, I started asking, why is it that we didn't have local tech company that organizes tech event like a local tech company? So we only have people like CC Hub, TechPoint Africa, Google, Microsoft coming down to organize their event.
Yeah.
So I started asking, why would these big companies organize events?
Yeah.
That pushed us to organize Tech Up Port Harcourt for the very first time, right? And we started seeing that result that comes from what they were doing, but we had to do it based on our own environment. I think that will help for now.
All right. All right. Can we put our hands together for him? It's important you make notes, right? Questions, because you may need to ask Shola. Now, why I said dynamic is he's in the media. He's an accountant, and I think he has touched several things. And I believe part of the reason why he's vibing the way he does is because he has to survive. But tell us in your understanding or your interpretation based on what you've done across industries, because you've served across industries. Think, make, grow. How do we survive in Africa?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I believe this has been a long day. I could see it in most of your faces. Okay, I'll jump right in. I do a whole lot of things, a whole lot. And it's not because the one I'm doing isn't working, you understand? Everything I've actually laid my hand to do has been working. And so here is it. You're a business owner. Whatever the idea is, beautiful. You are good at what you do. Nice. But there's this element we haven't really considered in Africa, Nigeria precisely, and even River State. Do you know that people do business with people here because they like them?
True.
I'll say that again. I'm an accountant, so I could go into a lot of dynamics, but I want to be very practical, just simple. You are good at what you do. You may even be the best, but people don't like you. There is this statement a lot of us have made over the years that have limited us. Have you heard somebody say, I don't care what anybody says? It's their opinion, not mine. I want to submit to you right now that your life is a summation of people's opinion. I know your pastor didn't tell you that. They told you to declare it. And it's okay. I believe that you walk up and say, nobody feeds me. I pay my bill, so I don't care what anybody says. But let me submit to you here that you wrote exam. You wrote very well. Whose opinion reflected your A or your B? Is it not the marker?
The lecturer's opinion, yeah. Not the marker, yeah.
You went for an interview, you did better than everybody, and they say you are not fit. Whose opinion was that?
The interviewer's opinion.
So where did your own opinion count? I can go on and on with several examples. The reason for that is because we are in the Gen Z age where everybody types on Facebook, Twitter, and the rest of them. And we've carried that same culture into our lives in practical terms. I want to submit to you that if you are a business person, you are going to be in a meeting where you are right, somebody else was wrong, and you're going to accept that you were wrong. And that's the only reason why you're going to be in that business.
Amen.
I did talk my mind.
Yeah.
You will not go far. You see that I will talk my mind, everybody they fear and they don't want to tell them waiting be. You talk, they fire you. They say, me then go with a company. That's one company down. You are going to go into another one. It will shock you that that thing you ran away from this company exists even in that your friend's company. That is, I've always said this to a lot of my friends that say some of these things, which of course they are not very successful so far. I said, do you know that I wake up in the morning, I bathe, clean my car, drive to work, to be accused of what I didn't do. I apologize. They found out I didn't do it. They didn't say apologize to me. At the end of the month, I'm paid a salary that I come back and they say I'm a big boy. Because I took those nonsense. As I'm driving smiling, did I tell anybody I was taking nonsense? But I'm sure you will like it when you finally see me looking good and all of that. The simple truth is this: you must work on the ability of people to like you. Because in Africa here, we've not been able to understand this separation of business and person. Say, it's my business. You and your business is one and same person. In Africa, you say make in Africa, right? In Nigeria. So we're talking about Africa here. You are not different from your company. Business-wise, it's a separate business entity, right? In a legal framework. But in practical terms, very practical. If this person has been saying nonsense about your family, will you go there and buy bread? But yet, his bread is the best. Some of you have been in a situation where you say to somebody, I don't know why they call these people. They may even teach that person. Yeah, that will be your story for a long time. Till you start converting people's hate for you into like. That like is the reason why they'll mention your name in board meetings where you're not even present. And they'll be virgin that I know he's very good. And they'll come and when they meet you, they'll tell you, oh boy, I've been telling them say you're good, or I know say you know too good, but no for my hand. The reason is because you don't know the extent people will go just because they like you. So that your opinion is their opinion. Yeah, it doesn't reflect on me. I'm sorry. We all say you are handsome. The day we all say you are ugly, you explain tire, no evidence. So, yeah, it's a good place to clap if you have to. You know. So please, I call it likability. And the second one, which I'm going to wrap up with, is adaptability. You want to be sure that who you handed your business or who you're doing business with is going to go the extra mile. For example, I'm covering an event here. I walk in here. I've set my cameras. The whole place is dirty. Sweeping this place is none of my business. But can you imagine if I have a lot of staff and I tell you, let's start arranging this place. The next time you want to invite me, you say, I care about your event. True of us. True. You're going, but is cleaning part of my job? So some of you will cross your leg and say, as long as it's not be my fault. Make them do their own, I do my own. No. People pay for value. They don't really pay for that thing you are giving them. They pay for value. When people pay you to get something done, how well do they go home and sleep that you will get it done? They would rather do business with that kind of person than somebody who will be calling every day. Say, call him. Call him. You know, say, he no go deliver now. So even if they want you by 5 o'clock, they call you by 12, remind you by 5 that the program is by 5. They call you by 2. But if you are somebody that just told 7 a.m., you should be somewhere by 5 p.m. without anybody reminding you were there by 4:30, people begin to find it very comfortable doing business with you. Because when they do business with you, there's no much calculation in their head. They're not thinking, are you sure this person is going to get it done? I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. These are very practical things. So the businesses I have done, that has been the secret. I always just look at the platform and ask, who are the players there? What are they doing? What can I do differently? So I bring that difference to the table. Some of them are better than me, but everyone is doing business with me, not with them. I would like to end there, please. Thank you.
Come on, put your hands together for him. Okay, so I'll have a second go at you, Stewart. All right, so he's spoken about likability and some of the things, but a lot of people who are here believe that there are things you need to get by as a business person here, and if I do a pew check, top of it they will say is finance, money, support, right? So while other people can argue about social capital and other things that you need, they always say it's finance. What's your take on that?
Okay, so for me, most times I also have the idea. Most time when I hear people say it's not all about money, right? So if you want to start up business and you tell me it's not about money, I'll tell you you'll fail. Okay. Right. The idea is that you want to create value, and people should be able to pay you money for that value. That's how you keep business running. If it's not about the money, you should run an NGO. Yeah. But then again, number one is that ideas don't come fully formed. Okay. You have to start, not necessarily when people say start small. I prefer to say start smart. You can actually start small but appear very big. And the general idea, like Jago, my friend, would say, is that it's easier for people to give you shoes to wear if they see you running with an empty foot, compared to if you just sit down, cross your legs, and you say, I'm just waiting for a shoe to run with. So you want to own a very massive hair salon. You just need to start from somewhere, but strategically, right? And then open up, like what Shola was saying. People will buy you first before they buy your business, right? So they need to start liking you. You need to start testing that market from the skill you have, but build a solid business around it. Truth is, the people you're looking out for to give you money in your business might not be the people that will give you your business, the money. You'll be shocked that it might be one of your clients that will be your first investor in your business. Right? But you can't get him unless you actually start. So if you're waiting to start like the way it's in your head, it might not be possible. Truth is, if I ask anyone that wants to start anything, and I ask you, what do you actually have? You realize that you need almost everything. You have almost everything you need to start from that point and start testing the market. Now, here's the problem. You need someone to put in 1 million into your business, but you're scared to invest your own 50,000 into that same business. Right? You're asking for 1 million naira for a business, but you can't pay 15,000 or 12,000 to just do a business name. Right? You can't pay 5,000, 10,000 to do proper marketing. So we're in this gathering and they say, ask a question. I mean, you have 3 minutes to sell what you do here. So my name is this, I do this, this, and this. My social media handle is this, my website is this. So my question is, right? You've actually, you're telling us what you're doing. So number one is, yes, you need so much money, okay, but think of how is the best way I can start from here. Then have a very strategic growth plan. And let me point this out. If you're running a business, understand that unless you're in the show business, understand that you're not there to impress anybody. And I don't mean the context that Shola was saying, yeah? What I mean is, your problem is not for anybody to see that you're wearing a very expensive clothes. And you want to do that with your business money. Okay? The only person you should be very loyal to is your business. If someone should see that you're investing so much in that business, then it makes it a whole lot easier. Okay? Yeah. Then finally, have a very strategic plan as to this is how I want to grow it. And I said it earlier on, ideas don't come fully formed. The way you have it in your head, when you start it 3 months, the market will redefine it. Government policies will redefine it. Tinubu's dollar will redefine it. These things. I have a guy that he owns an office in the plaza where my office is domiciled. He's not been to his office for let me say 4 weeks, so I don't lie. So I saw him yesterday. Right, we're climbing up together, and I said, I was just about to break your office and sell your property. And then he said to me, Stuart, listen, my clients, no one is responding to me for the last 3 weeks. So what do you want me to come do here? That was not what he planned originally. So those challenges will come. So this period where you don't have too much is the best time for you to develop the thick skin that you need to manage investors' money. Because the truth is, the moment someone gives you 1 million naira, 500,000 naira, and say, take in that business, you might not sleep because they need their return on investment.
Yeah.
Right? So now that you have so much of your own, it's opportunity for you to test the market, know if this your idea is actually valid, and then as you keep moving, draw it up. People are watching, like he said. People are truly watching. You'll be shocked when someone will tell you, hey, this thing you're doing, what do you think? I just have one useless 500,000 somewhere. What will I gain if I give you this?
Yeah.
It's just a clear proof that they've been watching. So you need to have that plan, start very smart, and of course, you need money. Thank you.
Of course, you need money. Now, I was going to pass Shola, but Shola, you're a money man. So, how will you avoid this kind of question? Tell us about it. What's your take on the question? So, some people say money, capital, is what they primarily need. You've said likability, and but juxtapose that with their reality. No matter how much grammar you blow, it will still be about. When I asked someone in the earlier session, I said, do you need money because you want to survive while doing the business, or you want the business to survive? So can you just speak to that?
Okay, I think this has been a repeated decimal every time there's a conference. Everybody say, I need money. You know, what they call it, I was in a section once by my pastor, and he was saying, what can you do with 10 million? And a lot of the answers we got from the crowd was, give me first and see. Just give me the money first. You know. And the truth is that business don't start with money. It starts with ideas. Okay. Can we go on? Oh, let's run and end, if possibly, end with ideas. Some of the things that have destroyed some companies were ideas. What bets companies are ideas. Let me tell you something. One of the things he said here today that is very remarkable is, don't start small, start smart. I am an accountant, and I will tell you there's a principle in accounting we call OPM. It's called other people's money. Let me tell you the simple truth. You always need money if you're not smart enough to make people give you money. I'll say that again. You always need money if you're not smart. Let me tell you, I've started a lot of businesses and there was no money. Just ideas. Didn't have equipment, didn't have nothing. Now look at it. You have an idea. You've thought of the idea. Let's say you want to do catering business, right? You thought of the idea. Oh, catering, beautiful. I'll cook, I'll sell, and then now their next idea should be, how do I raise money? And I've seen a lot of people always stop that thinking at the point of, let somebody give me money. I don't have money. So the question is, how can I get money from somebody? You must tinker it enough. I will not tell you what to do in that situation because it is very, very circumstantial. It's based on your own network, the people around you. If I were in your shoes and I studied people around you, I'll be able to tell you, this is what this person likes to hear. This is what this person likes to hear. Earlier on in my cinematography life, somebody called me from Lagos for a music video shoot. Port Harcourt paid badly for music video shoots. Called me, asked me, can you shoot a music video? I said, I've not done it before. He said, but I believe you can do it. I've seen a lot of things you've done. I said, yeah, anything I do actually turns out right, but I've never thought of shooting a music video. He said, okay, how about 350,000 naira? Do you mind? I said, send the money, I will get the job done. Here I am covering the event. I don't have any equipment of my own. I talk to the client long enough, smart enough to pay for what they have not even seen. Sometimes I carry my boys with me to see how I harness my clients, money from my clients. I say, watch, I'm going to make this man pay me money now. Watch. The simple truth is this. Around you might be people that don't ever have that money to give you. Does that mean your ideas will also die? No. The last example I'll use for this, some of you belong to family where you cater for them. Some of you are not prosperous because you say, my family, I'm always giving. Family, I'm always giving. Do you know there's a success equation that says focus on yourself? Let me tell you the simple truth. Your family can't feed. Your family can't pay rent because if you don't give, they can't, right? I want to submit to you that if you die today, your whole family members won't die. I'll say that again slowly. If you die today, your family members, all of them will not die. It means that they can survive, but they will rather survive on you. I'll put it slowly again. They can survive. Have you ever met a girl on Monday and she's talking to you about money on Wednesday like she has known you all her life and there's no other person to help her except you're the one that sends that money? And you keep wondering, girl, I met you on Monday. You are 25. You had 25 years of meeting a lot of people. Why me? Why me? The simple truth is this. Anywhere that's easy to make money from, people will always use it. Call any of your friends right now and give them money. 2 weeks later, they're going to call you and explain something about their brain tumor. They're going to explain something about their house rent. Because it's easier to get money where it is easier to get it from. There's an American adage that says, if you feed them, they will not leave. Even Jesus understood it. He said, you follow me not because you love me, but because I fed you. You understand? So now, how do you run with your business? Have the idea. Greatly, strategically, come up with that idea on how to raise money from the people around you. If the people around you cannot raise that money, then you already know you're in the wrong circle. And business can only exist in an environment. Sometimes I drive through town once and I saw one big bar just open in a shanty town. I was like, these people are going to close down very soon. Because they've located their business in a place where they don't consider that as value. Okay, you don't know that. Don't you know that if you open a shop right now in Dube, big, screed it, put AC, put it and say a barber shop, they will not enter there. Even though you are also barbing at the same cost of that butcher owner that's over there. You see everybody line up outside at that butcher. And everyone will say, these people, they're going to be like 3,000. Nobody enter though. They will be like. So that is how you raise money. When you're around the right circle, you discover that when you discuss money, money just appears. But when you're in the wrong circle, everything is complaint. And I've always been the one that says this. You cannot be broke and have broke friends. If you can't pay transport, this one can't pay transport, this one can't pay transport, all of you can't pay transport. If there's no food, this one doesn't have food, you don't have food, all of you are complaining about the same thing. And that is how your own life will end with all of this circle like this. But look at it. If I don't have money, Fakai is my friend. I can call him. He may not give me $1 million, but he will give me something. So, business survive in an environment. The question you should ask yourself, who are the people in that immediate environment that can fund this idea? Till you are able to find that answer, even if I give you $1 million, $1 million becomes a problem to you. Do you know why? There's a difference between being broke and owing nobody and being broke and owing people. So now, you're going to put so much pressure on your business because Sholadians have given you some money. We've calculated it that every Friday you will bring this amount of money. And now you're hammering on your business to generate that money. That business could be viable for another 5 years. But because you want immediate return on how to pay back the investors, you think the business is not doing well. Shut it down. Another person started at the same time with you. Give it time. You see how big this person has grown. You understand? So what do you do as a business owner? When you have the idea, the next question is, what is the idea I have that can fund it? Sometimes you need to have a funding idea. What I simply mean by a funding idea simply means that you want to go into catering. But for now, start to fry akara by the roadside and raise your equity. Raise some money that you can translate into this. The best form of business has always been equity businesses. Debt financing are on a different level because you are dealing with the pressure of having customers and you're dealing with the pressure of paying back who you collected money from. It's very easy to collect money. I am into loan business, as an accountant. Somebody will come, you tell him that this 50%, he say, no problem, just give me. He say it's 15%, just give me. They don't care about the percentage, they just want the money. It is when you have created the account and the money is about to end, you start looking frustrated. Because you didn't start smart, not necessarily starting small. You didn't start smart. You understand? So always have a funding idea. A funding idea. How do I... If you have never raised money for something before, forget about business. If you have never raised money for something before, there's no small thing you've ever been the one in charge of and you're able to raise money. And you want to now go into a business. In this place right now, if we say we want to sponsor businesses, and right, you can take any loan. Somebody is going to write an application amongst you right now for 5 million. Ask him, has he handled 50,000 naira before? Now, once money is going to be given, you just want to take it. You understand? So, but the most important thing you should ever always ask yourself is, what is my money-raising idea that I have? You must have that idea. If some of you work in companies like myself, you find out that your MD always have another business is trying to do somewhere that's going to fund this one. Why this one fund this other one? That is how that circle goes. You understand? So please, business starts with ideas, runs on ideas, and also die. It was an idea that killed BlackBerry. For those of you, I don't know if you knew BlackBerry, those of you that knew, it was an idea. You understand? So don't be saying just idea. If your idea is not smart enough, it will run you under. You understand? So money can be raised. There's barely anything I've ever done and money was the first thing I put in. No. I had an idea. Present your idea very well to the right persons. You'll be so shocked how money will flow in your direction. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oladans. Can we put our hands together for him? All right, I'll take questions now. I have one here. Any other person with a question? Two. 1, 2. 2 is fine. All right. Can we get a mic to him, please? Someone help me?
Okay, thank you very much. I'll have to put Uncle behind your name, please. Pardon me. So, Uncle Shola, you see, all the things you said, they are very true. And I'm a living witness to what you just said. But I have a problem. Okay? You see this OPM of a thing. I have done it, and it worked perfectly well. But my problem is, will I say I messed up, or will I say I missed a step? I was able to raise accumulated that's total amount of 4 million naira from OPM that I invested in my bakery. I have a bakery at Teneka. Okay, so now my problem is this: Nigeria happened. When I did my business plan initially, 2019-2020 thereabouts. Things was not as expensive as it is right now. When I started, things actually changed. So the business plan was just rubbish. I have to start working with what the market was giving me immediately. So my problem is this: those people I was able to convince and raise money from, I had some issues paying back both the interest and the capital. And I don't like creating enemies in business. So I focus more on paying off my investors before I take mine. But my problem is, I have broken trust. How do I create those trusts back with those particular people? Because I believe every single person is important in my line of business. So that is my problem. How do I create those trusts back again?
Okay. There is what I'm about to say here. This will not be able to do justice to it. I pray that after the section you meet me. I have actually a course I came up with called rebranding, personal rebranding, meaning that if people don't like you, if people have lost trust in you, how you can bounce back into their good books. You understand? Because the truth is that we are humans. Sometimes you make certain decisions at a point in time in your life that you didn't envisage the outcome. and the outcome now is detrimental to your person, how do you rebrand yourself for them to start liking you again? You're going to reintroduce yourself. It's a whole lot of work. A whole lot of work. When someone no longer trusts you, someone no longer believes in you, for you to get back that trust is a whole lot of work. But the truth is that if you need them, then you must go through those rudiments. It's what they call it. If I try to name them out here right now, I won't be doing justice to the answer. So I want to take that answer on a personal. If for any reason you are like him and you have that same problem, please, I will sacrifice 30 minutes more after this section to be able to attend to that, because it's actually a serious problem. Very serious problem. A lot of businesses have gone under. Everything you touch, they carry the same idea. Wherever you are, they'll be telling somebody about you. Now, so I mean, give them, give me back. They are just marketing you on that level. So it's a whole lot. But trust me, there is a solution to it. There is a solution to it. It's called personal rebranding. They've known you. It goes beyond business. Some of you, especially maybe ladies or a guy, some of you just live a particular life. People don't think you're a cultist. You're not a cultist, but they just believe so. And because you kept saying, Nadia Toro, made an indicated they want to think. When you go into business, you will now understand every opinion counts. You understand? If your opinion counts, you can imagine if I believe you're a cultist and you say you don't care. You came for an interview and you saw me, I'm the interviewer. As you're sitting now, I will just whisper to the panel. I will not be asking you questions. You know that you've lost. You could have just greeted us and just open the door and go back. So rebranding, personal rebranding is very, very important, especially in business. So that the whole idea is not to have a vision. The whole idea is for people to also see that vision. You know, if you are religious, you hear where the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain that he may run that reads it. You understand? So in other words, till you are people are able to see things from your own perspective. It's not enough for you to say something. It's not a way for you to live a particular kind of life. It's for people to understand why also. So whenever they start seeing you, let me give you an example. We all love Whiskey Davido right now, right? Do you know that there's a pavement close to the gutter outside? If Davido became very broke and ran away from Lagos without you and I knowing, and he sits by that pavement next to that gutter, probably taking a Coke and bread, you're going to call it, this guy is very humble. Do you know that? You say he's very humble. A whole Davido just sit down here. It is the lowest point in time in his life. He doesn't have a choice. That's why he's doing it. But because you already know him for a particular class, you don't want to call him broke. This t-shirt right now I'm wearing could be 5,000 naira. If Davido wears it and tell he bought this t-shirt, $25,000, you are going to believe it. As a matter of fact, you're going to start a quarrel with anybody that doesn't believe it. Why? They have a perspective, a perception of who he is. And they will defend that perception. That's why even on Facebook, all of you are quarreling now. Man U, Chelsea, all these things are based on our personal perception of that thing. So when people no longer trust you, that perception has changed. You have particular things you must do to bring them back to that point when they will say, do you know what? He has done it before, but let's just trust him. Let's give him a second chance. You know. So like I said, it's very detailed. I'll take it up in a private section. Thank you so much.
Sorry, please. Why Shola will handle what happens, how you can rebrand. When you asked the question, I had to start jotting down things so that I don't forget, but I'll run through them very quickly. So when we were asking the question, you said something about government happened. So 2 weeks ago, we were in a virtual conference with tech founders. And one of the things I told them is that startups now, that's the excuse we're using to run away with investors' money. So a lot of fintechs are shutting down. So if you ask them now, they tell you government did this, right? As at the time you say government happened, were there other bakeries that were still in business? So that means it wasn't about government. I would have agreed that government happened if it was a case of government banned bakeries. In short, go and research, you find out that the most successful businesses emerges in seasons where there are difficulties in economies. Right now, where we're complaining is when businesses are emerging because people are hopeless. People want to survive. So whatever you can sell now and give them an idea to succeed, to survive, they will buy into it. So one of the things that you needed to consider was marketing and sales. As at the time you notice that, hey, there is one or two, something is happening, government tweak, what happened to your marketing? We'll get to a point in business where we start making some bucks, we start making some kind of sales, and we become very comfortable. We don't study our data. We don't look at the trajectory to know that, hey, something is coming. We don't study history, right? So at that point when you notice, what did we do about our marketing? What did you do about the number of staffs you had? Okay? These are the things that can help us not to fall into that kind of situation again, right? So if you have a business, as long as the government not say, hey, just take for example when the former governor said no more bikes. That's the kind of government policy that we can say, oh, government. In short, as at that time, we launched an app that looked like Bolt, that was supposed to be like, what's it called now, for logistics. In short, before then, we had over 23 persons that have already brought in their bikes and signed up. And then government happened at that time. Now, this is one thing. If you have people giving you money or they've given you money for your business, please don't play with communication. People are wicked, but I'll also tell you, people are not as wicked as they seem until we trigger them. There is a difference between I'm expecting my return on investment in the next 6 months, and you make it compulsory for all your stakeholders and say, listen, I know you guys are busy, but then at the end of every month, I've created a system where we can meet on Zoom or Google Meet so that I can just give you guys a feedback how our business is going, right? By the time you start paying your return on investment, and these people are aware, they now feel like they are part of this business. I've experienced it twice with 2 friends. One of them collected money, the thing got bad, and the guy started chasing him everywhere with police. The other guy collected money, it got bad. The man had to invest again. Why? Because he carried him along the business. He knew this is where we are, this is what's happening. So when you're facing challenges, you're telling them. When we're making a lot of successes, we're telling them. They feel like they are part of the business. And the moment you notice that things are going bad, don't do the way that they've done some of these guys on social media. You start, our network is bad. You can't withdraw for now. People can start withdrawing next week, right? Come out plain and say, guys, this is what we're experiencing. I need ideas. Truth is, they gave you money, and this is what we don't know. If I give you ₦1 million for your business, and I know that if I call Shola to bring in his expert idea in accounting to help this business survive, I will do it at that point because my business, my money is at stake. But when you don't carry them along, at that point when you're about to drown, that they have all it takes is, okay, don't worry, this is a challenge. Let me call this guy. In short, the girl that somebody invested in her fashion, whatever, she told me, she said, that day he called the man, he said, sir, listen, this deal we had, no worry, this is what's happening, but we don't have a car. And you have lots of them. Can we do this and this? And I asked her, I said, what gave you that God? He said, hey, in money they the business. If you no give me, we'll not make profit. Eventually the man gave her the car. They went over, did the deal, and came back. Because my money is there. And that is why, I don't know if I'm on camera, but listen, a lot of businesses you have in Nigeria, you can't shut them down because of certain persons in power that they've given shares to. So they ensure that the policy favors them. So while you go to set up this and this, they go back to government and say, please, oh, we want to do this. How can we partner? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I do this. And then we're giving, they will not even, you call it bribe. They will tell you we're giving your, this thing, 10% so that whatever comes out, of course, this office needs this. So let it be whatever. I can't own a 10% of a company. And I'm there seated where we're discussing policy and I will support for that business to die. How? Even if you send it, I won't sign. I did not see the letter. You get the idea, right? So carry them along and then finally, be very, very radical about your business. Right? One of the things I told myself a long time ago is my business won't die. My business won't die. Tell yourself that and become very intentional about it. See, before your business will collapse, you will see it like, to be giving you sign that I'm dying. But most times, because of the little box in the account, we don't pay attention. So we're still okay. We're driving to the office. We're still feeling good, whatever. But it's giving you sign. At that point, you ask yourself, what is not working? That's why data is important. Collect your data and know that, this place we're selling. Okay, and let me end it like this. Most of you don't want to hear this. You've heard about collaboration, Abby? Good. I'm a very huge fan of collaboration. But pay attention to competition. And what I normally say is, before you stretch your hand for collaboration, develop the muscles for competition. Competition is what drives businesses. It's not a case of if I bring up something, everybody in Port Harcourt copies. Who cares? If you're doing it, be careful about competition. That's why there's something called competitive advantage. Please, how many of you, we know Close Up, Abby? How about Pepsodent? How many of you are aware that it's the same company? How about Peak Milk? Who knows 3 Crowns? Google it, the same company. Or maybe, how about Infinix? Who is using Infinix here? Techno, Itel. The same company, guys. How come they created competing products in the same market? It's to tell you how powerful competition can be. So pay attention to competition. Don't just say, let's collaborate. Because somebody else is coming. You mentioned BlackBerry. Somebody is coming to kill your business. Business itself is war. I don't know if that helps. Because it's simple. So people have different target audience. Maybe you understand it like this. When you enter the plane, is there something they call first? And another one. Okay, so let's think about it. The last time I checked, I heard that if you enter, you're going with first class and then maybe economy. I heard that those for first class will drop first before the other one will come down in the air somehow. Is that true? Or that if they enter the same plane, those in first class will get to the destination first. Is that true? Would they arrive at the same time? The same plane, come down at the same spot. Why did you create that? Different target audience. So I want to give you an impression. How many of you have heard about an advert, Apple, on radio? You've not, but have you heard Techno? But Apple is the most sold out phone in the world, iPhone. Why? Because they've converted their customers to fans. So you know what? When you buy an Infinix, you say, okay, I want to buy pouch. You don't care if the pouch covers the Infinix logo. But if you should come to, let's say Mr. Shola is selling pouch, and you say, I want to buy pouch for my iPhone, and he gives you a pouch that will cover that your Apple logo, you will just hiss and walk away. He's not serious. Your own iPhone. They've turned you not just to a customer, but to a fan, right? So I understand my target audience. At the time you were doing the bakery, you can actually create a bread, a luxurious bread, for a particular class of people. Nothing gourmand. Now I'll tell you this story and I'll end, right? 3 years ago, in short, before my mother died, I don't wear watches, all these bangles and all that. I don't wear, just personal for me. So somebody gifted me a watch on my birthday. And guess what? In short, whether she forgot, I don't know, but the pack she brought was 17,500. The pack the watch came with. So we went to church at, what's it called, Waterlines one day, and we're coming back. And my friend, saw their book and like, still, not be that watch that big, buy with this. I was like, no, this one na malam, which kind of salt without. So we went. He said, let's go, Mujo go price. So Aboki, how far? Aboki said 900. So he picked the watch and then checked everything. Both of them exactly the same thing. And then he told Aboki, blah, 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 can we pay 450, blah, blah, blah. We pretended like we were going. Aboki said we should come back and take for 450. They started laughing me from there. Right? Now, what was the idea? Somebody else took a similar watch, packaged it, put it for a different class. For a different class of people. And say, come in here, and then I know what you want. I'll give it to you. And then the Aboki is there to serve a different class. Okay, if you have a product, a good product, and you market to the wrong target audience, it will never sell. It's not like your product is not good. But truth is, people don't buy product and services. They buy value and solutions. Right? So they have to buy what will solve their problem at that time. So you can create different target markets for your business and then serve them your product with just a little bit of packaging, just a little bit of, oh, you can't touch this one. Just imagine as you were coming in here, they say, please, don't just go this side. As you were just going, usher, just put, please, oh God, no try am, right? And then you now saw Mr. Shola walked in, they say, sit down there. Already in your mind, you're like, God, this guy, now wow, this place, they see somebody should know. So that's why such products were created. I hope that helps.
Yeah, good evening, Shola. Good evening, Stewart. Shola, my question goes to you. Two things. What's the bad idea that spoiled BlackBerry's business? And then how do we identify a bad idea that may look good at the beginning, then later things will spoil? Thank you.
Okay. For the sake of cameras that are on, I wouldn't want to be very direct in that. But since we are in Nigeria, I'll speak in parables so that you can figure it out. Now, okay, I will start with what my friend just said. There's a statement, variety is the spice of life. Variety. Okay? So, in business, even if you're the only person in that business, you will create competition. Do you know why? Because have you been in a place, their rice tastes so good, 4 of you walk in. The first person ordered rice. They brought it sounded good. Second person ordered rice. They brought it sounded so good. Third person, the fourth person just say, "Una no get another thing." He knows that the rice is good. Probably have taken a spoon from the previous plates ordered, but he just want to feel different. That's all. Do you know that if you give him gari, he'll be eating it, even if that guy is not so good. He won't express it so well. He wants to believe that these other people are eating rice. Now me, they eat gari. So Coca-Cola looks at it. If you're going to buy Coke, don't these people sell any other thing? Why must it be Coke? And the dangerous thing about not creating that competition is that somebody will keep saying that thing, another person will produce that option. You don't know that. Now, it's easier for Techno, for you to be deceived by Techno, that they are better than Infinix. Either way you buy, the company is rich. Okay. So, then lastly, before I go into that directly, I'll say this severally because we're blacks here. You can imagine a company owned by a white man, run by a white man. They now picked a scriptwriter that is a black man. Pick a director that is a black woman and say, please, write a story that says that the blacks are better than the whites. And he came up with this amazing story. Created a movie. Some of you watch it. I was like, yeah, the blacks are great. Every time you paid a ticket to watch that movie, who was getting richer? I will go do that now. Who was getting richer? But you were left with the impression that the blacks are better. That is how Black Panther sold you guys. Every time they say the white man shut up, all of you go, you know, no, now whip now black. Then get, my dear, the money you paid to watch that movie went to a white man. You understand? But you had that feeling while you were there. The point is that if Marvel Studios doesn't do that, another studio is going to come up with that, and they'll be the one to make that money. So sometimes when you're running a business, ask yourself, is there a subsidiary to this business I'm running that I could run alongside? There are some people that sell akara. I want to partner with people that sell bread. So I just close by. Because if they don't put that bread person close by, that bread person is somewhere else. Akara woman can just come out from another place and join that bread person and has created a collaboration that will actually murder your own business. Do you understand? So you must be, that's why I said ideas start up business. Ideas run the business. And of course, in also other cases, ideas ruin it. What was the problem with BlackBerry, I could say in a smooth way, is that they were not just ready to adapt. Things were changing, and they were not just fought with ideas. The only thing you should never play with is technology. It changes like this. That's why sometimes when I look at some of my friends in cinematography, I'm like, you are still editing things like this. They've changed it 400 times and you are still here. Do you understand? So in business, you must be ready to be innovative. I think you must be thinking, where is this thing going to? How is it happening now? Some of you, have you seen none of those that are very mature people that hate social media? They say it like we should give them some award. So that they waste your time on Facebook, they do everything. My friend said it. I said it when Facebook came up then, I think in 2005, 2006 year, about where we were all signing up. I didn't know what the thing was about. High Five also was there. I just signed up and we were building. Now, every single time he has a product, he has a brand, he has to pay an influencer to post it. Because on his own Facebook, he just over 500 friends he has. The DP he has been there for more than 6 years. But now, social media has become an advertising platform. And he did not create any visibility there. Why? He felt it was for kids. And who told you your next business won't be for kids? And you're already too mature for the kids. You know? So there's one thing I've always done. Those that know me on Facebook, you say, I hate it when people call me sir. They call me uncle. They call me, I hate it. Do you know why? Because there's some respect people give to you into your retirement. They retire you by telling, retire you with it. Say, this is why you be boss now. No be this kind of thing where you go to do now. You will be boss. You will be boss. And your head will be going, I'll be boss. Every time they want people to do business in their level, they won't call you. Because you'll be. They call you auntie, I'm not your mate. If they talk to me like this. So basically that is it. So you must, that's why in branding, Jay-Z is Jay-Z. He's not Uncle Jay-Z. He's not Sir Jay-Z. He is Jay-Z. A 2-year-old in America will call him what? Uncle is not part of his brand.
Jay-Z.
Do you understand? So when everybody calls me, so first of all, when people meet me, they call me sir, bros. Look at it carefully. You see that if I've been your friend for a while, before you know, you start calling me Shola Dance. Because I'll consciously be lowering my standards to accommodate you. So you say, I leave Shola Dance, me, they talk, I'm like, oh yeah, you finally fell for it. Unfortunately, his father is my subordinate in the office. But I've made his own son. His father calls me sir in the office. But his own son is calling me Shola. Now, every time young people are going to do stuff, who do you think they will call? So they call me. Because I understand how to move within the trends. If I bring some of my mates down here right now and show you that this person is my mate, you won't believe it. It's all gray, pot belly, wearing senator, they waka. Yet I still have money more than him, by the way. Nobody calls them for anything anymore. They've used sir and boss and uncle to retire them. So the problem with BlackBerry was much. There are things that there were rights in BlackBerry that were supposed to leave open. If they've opened it, other app developers would have come in. I don't want to be very specific again. You understand? So they didn't. While they were busy thinking about it, iPhone opened up for that. Don't you know that there was a time that there was no WhatsApp on iPhone? There was a time there was no. True. You understand? So every time those things came up, they were like, no, this is not our thing. They rejected WhatsApp, by the way. WhatsApp went to Android. And that was IBBM. And they all the beautiful, you must have a PIN. But WhatsApp just says, as long as you have a phone number, you can run with our app. You understand? So the issue here is this. In your own situation is simply this. While you are doing that business, begin to ask yourself, what are the innovative things that are changing in my business environment that I should be changing alongside? Remember, that business is not there to make you feel good. It is there to make people feel good so that you can enjoy the feel good. Some of you build business according to your class. Say, this is how I want to do them. If they don't like it, make them go another place. They are going to another place. You lost one customer. Maybe it doesn't matter. While he was going, he saw two other persons that said they're coming to buy your car. He said, I believe that again, the two they insult person. Come, then they sell a car for down the road. Why he's one person, but he has stopped 4 other persons that were coming. And that's how it continues. So do everything to keep that customer. Do everything within your power to keep. Because every one customer you've lost potentially 10 others. They have people that are loyal to them. They will spread that story and even garnish it even more. You understand? So it was adaptability. BlackBerry was not ready to move. As at the time they were ready to move, the world has moved so fast. And they were gone. So that's just it. Thank you so much.
Can we put our hands together for them? Wow, thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming through. Have we had fun tonight? All right, so that's it for our panel. Let's clap. Clap till they leave. I mean, they've given you value. Thank you, Shola. Thank you, Stuart. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of day 2 of the Making Nigeria conference. And remember that the raffle tickets are still available. You stand a chance of winning 1 plot of land, courtesy Bamboo Real Estate. 1 plot. 1 raffle ticket equals 1 plot. I mean, you may never know that random 1K, right? All right, so tomorrow we're going to be here bright and early. Session starts early at 9 o'clock. You want to come in because it gets better. If you were here yesterday, you would notice that today is obviously better and tomorrow is going to be more punchy. So keep the networking going and enjoy the rest of your evening. Ciao.